okay? This is not bad. I did a new style today and it's heavy and I don't like it, but I'm just gonna wear it for the video. So this is gonna be my first vlog of me journaling my pregnancy. I don't know, I wanted to do it because I want to. That's it. That's it. I don't do this all the time. My mom yelled at me in the beginning when I was, you know, this is what I would do every day. I would light my incense, I would light my candle, light sage, and my mom, she came in the room one day and she was like, "You think that's a good idea to be doing that still?" So I'm like, I'm gonna look it up online first, and then I'm gonna come back to you. So I looked it up online, and she was right. So I'm like, fine. I just wanted to set my mood, my tone for now, because this is my vibe. This is what I want to do. So I don't know what I want to talk about. I wrote some things down. Let me see if I can find it. That hair is just making my nipples itch like crazy. I can't. I wanted to talk about the things I want to. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm out of my first trimester and into my second. I am 4 months this Saturday. You know, since the beginning, I felt like everybody was just guesstimating. Like, even when they was asking me when my last period was, I was guessing. So I'm like, if I'm guessing, then if I'm guessing, then you're guessing. And if you're guessing, then we're just gonna sprinkle the time like this. Like, if I'm allegedly 16 weeks, a little bit less, a little bit more, you know? So, and you know, it feels so weird because a lot of the stuff I want to talk about, it feels so private to me. Like, it's like, I want to tell you my due date. I want to say like all these things, but it's like, I posted on YouTube. But I just want to I want to talk about it because I just feel so like excited about like the divine alignment of everything, you know? Alright, so I'm gonna just talk about it, and if I don't want to post it, I'm not gonna post it. And it is what it is. So my due date is 2/22/2020. I am having 2 twins. I'm having twins. So far we know it's one boy, and we think it's a girl. Boy and a girl. And so I don't know, to me it just seems like, it just feels so like mystical and just like, wow, like of course I would be the one to start twins in my family because there's no twins in my family, of course. And my partner's family, well, we found out just recently on his dad's side, but you know, sometimes it'll be like my father said that he has like a twin uncle, and I'm like, that's kind of too far away right now for me to actually say that that's the reason why I'm having twins. Like, it just seems like it's something new right now in this like immediate circle of ours. So that's one thing. And then the due date is like 2/22, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know how I am about numerology, so that was so cool. Aquarian season and twins, you know, sometimes they come a little bit earlier, so Aquarian season for sure, maybe Capricorn season, but you know, everything is kind of like, we'll see, like everything is like a guess. And this journey has also left me a little bit more like even more so like we'll just have to see, because like even finding out about twins, like I didn't know. I was going to one establishment at the beginning of the pregnancy, and they weren't really like helpful, or it was just every time I went there I just felt so much anxiety and so anxious and so angry. I was rude to everybody, the doorman, the freaking receptionist. Like, I'm just like, I don't like it here. I don't like it here. So I changed places I was going to. And the first appointment I had with this new place was, they gave me a sonogram for just a heartbeat. And that's when the doctor was like, this is the story of how I found out I was having twins. The doctor was like, so are you sure you haven't had a sonogram before? And I was like, no, never. The other place didn't give me one. I told you, why are you asking me? I'm like, well, I'm thinking in my head, like, I told you this, why are you asking me again? And he's like, because he's going over my stomach, and you know, this is my first pregnancy, so I can't really, I'm looking at the screen like, what am I looking at? He's not saying nothing to me. So I'm looking, I'm just like, why are you asking me this again? I told you that they didn't. He's like, well, I think there's two. I literally was like, shut the fuck up. He's like, I think there's two. See, there's one right there, and then he moved it around. He's like, there's one right there, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, oh, mama. He grabbed my hand. Are you excited, mama? I was like, no, I'm not. The fuck? The fuck you mean if I'm excited? No, that never crossed my mind. That never crossed my mind to have twins. Oh, I didn't eat I did. I was thinking if I ate my prenatal. I always have to remember if I did or not. I did, I remember. That never crossed my mind. Like, you know, some people are just like, oh, maybe we could, or, you know, I really want twins, and I'm just gonna, that never crossed my mind. Never, the whole time. Like, when I found out I found out on a full moon in June. Took the test, and I'm like, okay, I am. Me and my partner, and I'm like, okay. We were happy about it, and we was like, okay. So my mom, my sister, and I started to tell, you know, my friends and stuff, and so, like, ever since then, I was just I was on Pinterest and stuff, planning for one. You know, just one, like, okay, let me look at stuff online for one. I don't know if it's gonna be a boy and a girl. I have a feeling that's gonna be a boy, but I'm just gonna keep saving stuff and planning for, you know, just one. Like, I didn't even think two could be an option. And he told me twins. I was like, I was crying. My mascara was all messed up. Like, I wasn't expecting to cry. So I had makeup on. My mascara was all messed up, cause, you know, I just thought I was gonna get the heartbeat sonogram. I just want to be sure that the babies are okay, because the other place didn't give me the baby was okay, because the other place didn't give me a sonogram, and it was having me do a whole bunch of other stuff that was just like so stupid to me. And I'm like, can I know if my baby is okay? Like, every here is a hot mess today. Whatever. I said, can I know if my baby is okay? And he told me too. I'm like, dang. And that just changed the whole game. Because I was expecting I wanted to try and have a home birth. I honestly was just like, I'm going to have a baby at home. I'm gonna have the baby at home, and then I'll go to the hospital after. Like, that's how I was thinking about it, because I really didn't want to be in the hospital having the baby. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have him stay home. I'm gonna get through as much labor as I possibly can. Just get through, and then if it gets too unbearable, I'll go to the hospital, or if I have the baby home and then I go to the hospital after. That was out the window for me. I was planning to move out. I'm like, I'm gonna take my baby with me. We just gonna go move. I'm working in White Plains, so I'm like, I love it up there. So I'm gonna go up to White Plains. I'm gonna move up there. I'm gonna manifest moving up there. That's the dub. Staying with my mom. Like, so everything that I had planned was just out the window, and it just kind of shifted, really. And so I'm like, okay. You know, it's like, that's what this has taught me so far, is that anything can happen, anything, and that it is not your right to try to be upset about the things that happen. It's not your right to try to shift the things that is happening, and you just try to manipulate it so that it can go in your favor in like the most undivine ways. It's not, you know, like, for the most part, when I talk about manifesting, I'm talking about calling to you the things that you desire. And after that point, once those things appear, they can appear in any way. I was manifesting having a baby. I started my manifestation in March. I did a whole spell. I will show you, but my phone is sitting on top of the box that the manifestation is in, so I can't. But I did it in March. I started in March and I found out in June, so that was about 3 months, the spring season. And yeah, like, it's crazy. So that's really what I've been learning, is that it's just like you can't really control how the outcome is. You just have to flow with it. Honestly, life is just preparing you for everything that's happened to you. That's what life prepares you for. It doesn't prepare you for anything else but to be prepared for what's to come. You don't know what's to come, but I'm going to prepare you in all the ways I possibly can. And so I always say to myself, I'm so proud of myself for who I am today, that I'm able to accept the fact that I'm having twins and not let it, drive me completely up the wall, or, be able to say, like, I'm not worried about, certain aspects of my life, or certain, whatever it could be, whatever it could be, whatever worries people have when they have about to have child, or whatever worries people have in general, like, whatever. Those things, they cross my mind, and I'm always just, well aware of them, and I'm always working towards manifesting bigger than myself, and just staying present and staying optimistic in the future and in reality. But also, like, there's not much that I can manipulate. I can only manipulate up to a certain point. I can work as hard to dream and desire and want and manifest, but at a certain point I have to let it go, and I have to just let God flow. So that's one of the things I've definitely learned on this journey so far. Oh dang! Making my boobs itch OD, it's so annoying. That's one thing, and then learning about twins. It's just so cool to me, the mysticism behind it, because there are different types of twins. So I'm not having identical twins. According to the doctor, they're fraternal. They have their own placenta and their own sac. So, now that I say placenta, they have their own placenta and their own amniotic sac. That means that one will come, and then the second will come, and they both will come at their own time. I just see it as, genuinely, I see it as two children being born at the same time. Like not one egg being split and making an identical human, which is insane to me. It's just two babies born at the same time from the same body, which is very interesting, that how the body can do things like that, how the body can even create twins in the first place. But the body can do so many things. It's our mind and consciousness that limits the possibility of all, We think that, even if we know that it could be grander, greater, limitless, boundless, we still are always like, I don't really think that's possible. And that's why a lot of people live hella mediocre, because they don't believe that anything could happen. That's not my life, so I can't speak to it, but I can empathize with them, because sometimes you get so caught up in like the everyday that you tend to forget that anything can happen. You just you're doing the same thing every day over and over and over, and you can get caught up so fast, so easily, and you can forget that anything really can happen in that time. And one of the things that I've taken thought to really tightly is being present in the way that you see everything that's happening so that you don't miss anything. Because I think that's what happens with a lot of people, is that they'll want more miraculous things happening to them, but they are not paying attention to see it happening. And it's just small things. It really is small things. I had to ground myself in the ethers again, because I learned that grounding myself to earth is not where I want to be grounded to. It's more so being grounded to the sky is my thing. And so now I'm not smoking or drinking, so I can't, what do you call it when you induce it? No, that's not what you call it. Think about that word. Makes me think about labor, but I'm sure it has other meanings. But when you kind of start it for you, so me smoking weed was like me starting, the journey to get grounded in the sky. Now it's different. Now I have to do it more take more attention to my thoughts and be more focused and more present now than before. So, at first I was missing a lot. I'm just I don't even know what the hell's going on. When I found out for a good week, maybe 2 weeks, I was just I don't know what the fuck to think. I immediately had started researching after about the twins, about twin pregnancy and complications, things like that, and I'm just this is just too much. I don't know what the hell to think. But then I had to kind of let go, because it's what is gonna happen. Your body was made to do these things, so there's nothing to be worried about. Everything will be the way that it's going to be. That's how I see it. And it's comforting to think that way, because you never know. You really never know. So in studying about twins, I came to, I also wrote down my first trimester, my experiences in my first trimester, before I start talking about the twins magic. Or maybe I'll do that in another video. But my first trimester, it was interesting because I knew it's so funny. Before I found out I was actually pregnant, I knew I was, because I would get angry. I started to notice that people were so insensitive to other people. They were being selfish. They wasn't being helpful, and I was noticing it at this super high, a high frequency. It was just happening all the time, everywhere. It was happening worldly in the news. It was happening, in my everyday life, that people were they just didn't care about other people. And I was mad. I was so mad. I was so angry, and I was telling people off a lot. And I remember there was one time when at the train station I get on by my house, this lady was going down the elevator was out. This lady was going down the stairs with the carriage that she has, and there was two guys there. They both were with a girlfriend, one a white guy, a black guy. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, so y'all really not gonna help her get down the stairs? And didn't say anything. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And this woman standing here, I wouldn't say she's struggling. I'm sure she's a black woman. Of course she knows how to do it by herself. That's all we know how to do, is do everything by herself. Of course she knows how to do it by herself, but y'all could help her, and y'all choosing not to help someone. I found that to be crazy. I really did. It was things like that was happening. That was making me angry. That was just nobody cares about nobody. What's wrong with y'all? And I was so mad. And I said, that's why I'm I feel like that's when I knew that I was, because I'm I never paid attention to that. I mean, I did, but it wasn't to the point where I was so mad. I was so angry all the time. So angry all the time. I was telling everybody off. I was so mad. And that kind of just went away after a while. I don't feel angry anymore. I just feel this world is gonna vibrate the way that it vibrates. I wasn't intentionally looking for that too. Sometimes they say, you attract what you are, but I wasn't. It was kind of like a something being shown to me kind of thing. I wasn't attracting it. I wasn't being that way. So I'm like, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this? And I feel like it probably was, just the frequency of the energetics of a baby being grown that makes you notice that, some people will take that and, cry about it. oh, the world is so mean, you know. That I did not cry about it. I was angry. But it's so funny because my sun is in Cancer, my moon is in Sag, so that's a fire, and my rising is in Gemini, so that's air, and majority of my chart is in Leo. So I'm a lot of fire, which makes a lot of sense. Balances out with, you know, the airs and the waters that I have. But for the most part, I'm a lot of feisty, and I realized that. And for so long, I used to be like, you know, I'm not the typical Cancer. Like, I'm not like, oh, my family, I'm gonna take care of my family. I was never like that. I was always so independently me, myself. I worried about, you know, not myself, but, you know, I was real honest. I'm always real like me. I'm doing this shit for me. I'm having fun for me right now. This world is created for me, for you, individually. You're supposed to navigate it and learn the best that you can, you know, with people who are around you and for yourself. And I always wondered why I wasn't like that. You know, I was never like the motherly type. My friends had babies, and I wasn't like, oh, baby. I was just like, this is good baby. I'm more concerned about development of children and people and the minds and psyches of people than I am with cuteness. And that's Cancer characteristic to care about cuteness, but I don't care about cuteness. I'm like, yeah, cuteness is cute. That's the reason why that's one of the scientific reasons why we can take care of our babies, is because they're so cute. But I'm like, I'm more so concerned about how they grow and how I grow, how they grow, and how we mesh together, and they're energetic in the cosmos and things like that. That's what I care about. So that was my first trimester. I was never sick, thank God, knock on wood. I was never sick. What else happens in pregnancy that everybody talks about? I don't know. I feel like it was so easy, so simple my first trimester. Thank God. I made it to my second trimester, and now my second trimester, I'm very tired. I just want to sleep all the time, and I eat all the time. Like, I feel myself getting hungry. 12:22. I feel myself getting hungry, but I'm gonna wait until after the video. I'm just gonna eat some soup that we have here, and then I'm gonna go get something from outside. So that's it. I'm just really hungry, and I'm really, you know. And then, so that passed by. I found out I'm having twins, and that's great. Found out what I'm having in a couple weeks. So that's fun. After I come back from my trip with my bae. And then the only other thing I would talk about is the twin symbolism. But I'm gonna save it for another video because it's already 23 minutes. I'm gonna just do another video about twin symbolism because it's a lot to talk about with it. I mean, I could talk about it now. I might as well just put up a 45-minute video. Because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to record another video. I don't know when I'm gonna feel like it's probably gonna be in October. The way that my schedule is set up now. And I'm like, girl. Alright, so I'll talk about it. So this is my baby book, which is probably how I manifested a boy and a girl, because look at the jewels I put on there. Pink and blue. I take a lot of notes in here, and I just write down, you know, important things. Pictures are in here, blah blah blah. My names are in here that I have for them. So, this is all my notes for twins. Twin energetics and correspondences. All of these things. I'm starting their book of shadows for them, and they can continue as they get bigger. But first, I started with the yin and the yang, which is great to start with, because they say that's a twin power symbol too. Night, day, the moon, the sun, water, fire, cold, heat, wetness, dryness, faded, vibrant, stillness, movement, slow, fast, tired, lively, left side, right side, death, life. Yin is the feminine, yin is the dark side, yin is the black side, yin is the merciless side, and then yang, the masculine side, the sun and the heat and the vibrancy, the direct action and movements and fastness, which makes sense because I mean, moon and sun. And masculine gets the job done. Feminine, when you think about feminine energy, especially when you think about having a baby, you think about it happening in like the soil essence of like the seed has been planted in the darkness. The baby's in darkness. The baby's not out for everyone to see it grow in like this cage or something, this glass cage. It's within inside of you. Inside of you. So that's real cool. I'm thinking, everything I'm thinking, I'm saying, I'm just honestly coming to right now, which is nice. So I started with the Bible, essence of Adam and Eve, because the essence of Adam and Eve is man and woman, which can be twin energetics. And then Eve conceived and brought forth Cain and Abel, 2 boys. And it's so funny reading the stories, because the twin essence can be that they hate each other, that they fight each other, that they work together and love each other, and that they become like partners, that they one fulfills something that the other one doesn't have, and they work together to complete one job, one mission. But Cain and Abel was interesting. Everybody knows the story of Cain and Abel. Most favored, Abel was the most favored. Cain kills his brother. It's so funny because even when they talk about it in like the Bible, that one of them is always most favored, but the one that's most favored is never, like, they both made sacrifices to God. Cain came out first, Abel came out second. Cain was a farmer, Abel was a shepherd. Both of them made sacrifices to God, but Abel was most favored. And I think too, what is interesting in that is that God will see, like I say, you'll be doing work, and you'll be doing like this external work of like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna, you know, I do my charity work and I'm helping people, and you know, I'm doing all these good things for people. And you know, sometimes people do it just because they want to, and sometimes people do it because they're like, you know, I want to, you know, God is gonna see this, and you know, da da da. But I think that God chooses you based on the heart of you. It's a part of you that you can't explain or show to anyone because it's internal. That you can't fake. That's what it is. You can't fake that part of you because it is you. It's your soul essence, you know? So when they say God favors, you know, Abel the shepherd, I mean, aside from the fact that the shepherd is always like, what was the question? Well, my friend Justine put up, what has the most impact, nurture or nature? One of them is there already, but the nature that's there already, that's gonna be there anyway, has to be nurtured. So the most impact is what is to be nurtured. To the act of nurturing is the most impact, because without the nurture, the nature doesn't survive. So it's kind of like without the farm, without the shepherdness, the farm doesn't survive. Without me, you know, herding and, you know, taking care of this and that, the farm doesn't survive. Whatever, I don't know. So So that was one story. The essence of Isaac and Virgin Rebecca. Rebecca couldn't conceive for 20 years. Isaac pleads with God to help her. In turn, she conceives but feels struggle within. She asks, if all is well, why am I like this? This is my favorite story. If all is well, why am I like this? God replies, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people shall be separated from your body. 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. And even God's favor is the youngest twin. You know, first children can be very aggressive, very know-it-all, very you know, I'm in charge, I'm powerful, and it's me, I'm strong, and I'm strong. And the second child is usually like really like, you know, calm. And it's so funny because when I found out about my twins, the one that I felt, or the one that everybody said was a boy, was the most, I feel like he was either the most active, or because everybody saw him, he was the first, you know. And then one friend of mine, one friend who is usually good at predicting the sex of her friends' babies, and she's usually right. She said it's a girl, and I'm like, why are you saying that? Ain't nobody saying that. Why are you saying it's a girl? And she said that, and then when I found out it was twins, I'm like, the girl, the second one, she's real quiet. Okay, that was interesting. For first and second, and a lot of times, and a lot of biblical stories begin with which one was born first. So Rebecca gave birth to Esau and Jacob. First was Esau was born. He was born red, hot. Jacob came second, holding Esau's heel, holding on. And then there was some stories about there was another story where one twin pulled the other one back when it was coming out. They was being birthed. One twin pulled the other one back so he could be born first. I don't know what story. I don't think I wrote that down. There was so much. I couldn't write everything down. And I also wanted to write about different. I only had 2 pages. I think I saved 2 pages for it, and I wanted to write about other spiritualities. But it's interesting how they make it. They emphasize how they're born. And you know how they grow. The story of Esau and Isaac too. It's like they betray each other. It's so interesting, and interesting that they're both boys. And then there's twins of the in African spirituality. How sometimes twins can mean be like a highly looked after and treated with honor, supernatural powers, increases parents' wealth. If twins are neglected, one or both can become severely ill and die. And then that's in Yoruba. And Igbo, I don't know if I'm saying right, view twins as bad omen. Like, it's so many different, like, whenever twins were born in the family, the parents would leave them at the evil forest to die, because that would be a bad omen. So it's so many different aspects of twinship. Fundamental to cosmology and creation of myths, completeness and perfection, dualistic, both masculine and feminine. Apollo and Artemis, Helen and Clytemnestra, sisters of Castor and Pello, Amphion and Zethus, Romulus and Remus. So all these names. Osiris and Set, Castor and Pello, Jeb and Net. All these different twins. Twin energies. And then in the Native American spirituality, and I just wrote all those things down. But that's what I'm getting the most from them. It's just like if it's a boy and a girl, it's just like a masculine and feminine. And to me, it means that you are born with your soulmate already. You do not have to look for your soulmate in the external world, in the matrix of the world. You are already born with it. So you have one leg up. All you have to do now is work with, and that's always been my thing, is to, I've never been the type of person to be like, oh, I'm looking for my husband to get married. There's always it's nice energetics to get to that place, with someone, but that takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And my concern was never about that aspect of relationships and love. My concern was always about self-preservation and working with people to gain the most, and everybody's benefiting the most. And a lot of people are, especially my age, are not understanding of that, and they're not doing that. Everyone is really like caught up in this American dream. And so, even me finding choosing the partner that I chose, a lot of people didn't understand. It's just, I'll say my friends, because they're the ones who know. But they didn't really understand the dynamics of, why I chose who I chose and why I want the relationship that I have to be the way that it is. But I feel like when you're born with your soulmate, you don't have to do that part. You can go into the realm of immediately finding people who will benefit you and you benefit them, and you guys work together for a greater purpose and greater good. You don't have to go looking for a love that you think that you lack because you were born alone. You are already born with your partner, and so you have a super leg up. And that's why I'm thinking in my mind, that's what I want to really teach them, when it comes down to that part of life. Everything else is, me. But that part, I'm like, you don't have to worry about that because you're born with your other half. I would say that for boy and girl, because like I say, with like Apollo and Artemis, they have the essence of being brother and sister, and husband and wife. Because they have each other there and they can work with each other. In the essence of having the true love, you have it there. You could just find other people to work with, and find other people to give you children, but never fall to the side of feeling like you're lacking because you don't have a soulmate. People like to say, whatever. But I also feel like the children that we're having now and we're birthing now, they're not going to care about finding a soulmate, a singular soulmate. I was talking to my friend yesterday about the essence of they and this gender fluidity, and she had said she was talking to somebody who's Christian about it, and the person said that God is a she, and so me and her, we think a lot alike. She's Muslim. But I say God is all. God is not he or she. God is everything. God is not even a gender. God is not even a they. God is just, the essence of all masculine and feminine. So when I said that, and then we started talking about the they essence, that's when it had kind of clicked in my mind of like, oh, maybe that's what we're coming back to, is that fluid masculine. We're both masculine and feminine energies like God. That we are both and we are all, and that we can actually fully embody that now, and that there is no, because I'm very traditional in my dating and in my living of life. Man is strong. Man should take care of. Women are made to have children. Women should have children, and that's the the place that you come to, and that's how I feel about it. But that I was born in a different time, so. Children that we're having now, 2000s, 2020, they think completely different. They're going to be children who don't care that they're a boy and girl, that this boy's going to be wearing dresses and girls going to be wearing pants. And I mean, we do that now, but and boys wear nail polish and girls dress like boys, and it's not going to make any difference to them. And at first I was like, I just can't even deal. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was always like, I don't want to even deal with that. That is just too much confusion. But the essence, but if I can personally say that cosmically and energetically we embody all essence, that's just a physical manifestation of that. Like energetically, I embody both. I can be very masculine in my approach to things and very feminine in my approach to things, but physically I'm presenting myself as a woman. They're just making a physical manifestation of the things that we're telling them is true. And so that's what's also exciting, is that, the information that I've learned, I take pride in the things that I've learned so far, because that is what is going to help the plant grow. The nourishment that I have given myself to pass down to my children. And so that's it right there. They're just going to be the physical manifestations of all the things that we have learned, and we could not, share physically with the world. We just had to write it down. We just had to take note. Okay, this is what's new. This is what's happening. This is new age. This is new age. We're reading and we're learning and we're experiencing people. And now it's like our children are going to be the physical manifestation of all the things that we've learned. We won't even have to tell them what we know. They already come here knowing. We're just, we have just created a space of ourselves to give them room to absorb. You know what I mean? And to be one with that. Be one so much to the point that we don't have to tell them. They won't, they might need to be guided into it, because as babies, as human babies, they'll need to be guided into this. But the essence of the information coming from the source, purest babies, purest human. I should call me. I'll call it that. Purest source, purest human. They won't need us to tell them, and that's exciting to me. I'm excited to raise children. I was excited to raise a baby, and now I'm excited to raise two, and to see like the dynamics of this, like, two at one time, and to see how much my body can go, where I can take it to, and just letting go and letting God flow. That's it. All right, that was work calling me. Let me call work back. Let me eat my soup. And let me start my day.